pay to keep our politicians fighting? How do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, I'm back. Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. Hopefully I got my audio right this time. For some of you online, I had it messed up last time, but I think I've done it right this time. I'm sure you'll complain if I didn't. Usually, host of the Sharp Way, but today, so amazing, here on WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK in Newark, New York. And I say it every time and I'll keep saying it. Newark, New York is the cool Newark. Sorry, Jersey. Just how it works. So happy to be here on A Free Solution. 585-346-3000. So I know for those of you who watched or looked and saw the name of this show, I brought up New York City. And some of you are like, Larry, why do you keep bringing up New York City? Like every third or fourth show, you bring up some New York City stuff. It's true. Why? It's the biggest city in the country, biggest city in our state, and it very often sets the tone for the rest of the nation. For sure, the rest of our state. So I do bring up New York City, almost as a cautionary tale for everybody else. It does matter. And as you know, I live here. I live in New York City. So I'm in the belly of the beast. And I'm really watching it happen as it happens. So my mayor, Mayor Bill de Blasio, a terrible mayor. However, my mayor has not stopped with his push. He's not stopping. And he is, in theory, a lame duck mayor. Why does that matter? Because New York City has term limits on our executive, and he cannot run and didn't run. So he's gone in January, and he knows he is, but he is pushing hard. You might say, Larry, why is this guy pushing hard? Can't become mayor anymore. Why would he push so hard? He ran for president, got his butt kicked. So what's he doing? I think you know. He wants to be the next governor. Just imagine. Mayor Bill de Blasio, the governor of New York. Oh my God. Yes. Like the world's ending. Literally zombie apocalypse. Like zombie apocalypse. As bad of a human being as Cuomo was, de Blasio's completely incompetent and delusional. Far worse for the state than Cuomo, believe it or not. And it's tough for me to say that. It bothers me to say that someone might be worse than Cuomo. But I got to be truthful here. I think he'd be worse. All right, why? De Blasio now in New York City is saying, hey, we've got to fix New York City. I've only been mayor for 8 years, so I should fix it now finally, I guess, in my last 6 months. But of course, the reason why New York's been so bad is not because he's been incompetent. It's because COVID. See, that's the reason. Otherwise, New York would be amazing. But it's because of COVID. That's the issue. Same thing Cuomo said. So now he's like, well, we got to fix the city because of COVID. And my response immediately is, remember something, guys. If you're listening right now, COVID's real. COVID does hurt people and kill people. It does, no question. Generally speaking, it hurts and kills people who are over 60 and have pre-existing conditions. There are some exceptions to that rule, but that's generally who it hurts and kills. Does it shut down businesses? No. Does it close schools? No. Does it crush small businesses and assist big businesses? No. Does it create a black market which increases crime throughout the entire country? No. What COVID does is hurt and kill people, mostly over 60, with pre-existing conditions. That's what it does. But all those other things happened. What does that? Yeah, government. Government did all of that. The government did all of that. COVID didn't. COVID does specific things to specific people. The government crushes everything except for big business and the black market. That it does very well. It will always support big business and the black market, and it did it again. So now, my awesome mayor is like, we got to fix this. Okay, sounds good. He says we're going to build it back, but more inclusively. Boy, that sounds good. I like how that sounds. We're going to be more inclusive. All right. What's that mean? You would think that would mean maybe broader help or allowing more people to have a piece of the pie or something like that. One would imagine. Oh, but if you imagine that, you don't know my mayor. What my mayor means is we're going to have quota systems on people who he deems are in trouble or having problems. And in most cases, the people that he chooses, they are having trouble. That's true. I think build back more inclusively means build back better than we did in 2008, 2009, when we basically bailed out banks and large businesses and helped the cities, and everything out of the city was not helped at all. So I thought that would be the right answer if it was me. I would be focusing on small businesses, focusing on the entrepreneur class, focusing on the people who've been hurt the most, which some of you may or may not know this, but give or take 20%, or if not even more, of middle class and working poor families lost all their savings during these COVID lockdowns. I'd be focusing on them. That seems inclusive to me. Those are the people who were ignored after 2008, 2009. I'd be working on those. So he's thinking that, right? No. He's like, our biggest issue here in New York is homeless LGBT community who are brown and black. Now I want to be clear. Is that a problem? Yes, no doubt. That is a problem. We should care about this demographic of people. Of course we should. Should they be our priority with building back, and should we have special quotas for them? No. No. That's not the priority. Do they matter? Of course they do, without question. So how do we deal with that? By broadback and being inclusive, being broad. What does that mean? Understanding something, that the homeless population in New York City, in this specific case, speaking New York City, but there are other cities too that have similar problems. A big chunk by percentage are brown and black people who are part of the LGBT community because they are often shunned by their family and friends and pushed off into this homeless world. That's true. So I have an idea. Why don't we help all homeless people? Focus on helping them, which would by default help this community more than others, but wouldn't quota them or single them out, would allow everyone who's in that bad spot to be helped, but by default would help more of this population because there are more of them in this population. I know, sounds crazy, but we could do that without quotas. We could just say, let's create some nice ideas and a nice environment for companies and nonprofits to build the appropriate shelters and to hire the appropriate people to make that happen. And here are some actual ideas that might actually work. I'm not joking when I say this. Mobile shower and clothes changing stations that allows those people who are homeless to take a shower and change their clothes. I'm not joking. That's something that a homeless person actually wants to do. Whether you're working poor homeless, whether you're recently homeless, or whether you've even been homeless for a while, or maybe if you have a mental issue, you still want to change your clothes and shower. That's a thing that humans like to do, particularly if you want to move yourself back into the world, right? Back into the daily world. You want to do that. I'm still not done. How about allow actual people who build homes to build tiny homes so that people can get into these tiny homes? Often, if you're in a homeless community, then what happens is you become accustomed to smaller spaces. It becomes part of who you are and how you act. If you give someone a large home, they will literally just put themselves into a small area. It's all they know. So give them a tiny home so they can begin to understand how to handle a home again. For some people, this is a challenge for them. So you help them. Put them in areas where nonprofits can show up. Not just that, colleges can show up. And now we're going to have all those students who are trying to be social workers, give them some hardcore real experience to be better social workers. Look at that. How much is that going to cost you in taxes, what I said so far? Oh, so far, none. Zero. All those solutions I just talked about are free. Cost you nothing. But if you care, and I know some of you do, you can go help. Because if you care, you should help because you care. I shouldn't wait for government to do it for you. But government can create an environment to where you can go help if you care. And I hope you do. I care. That's why I want to make these policies. It's crazy. The solution I just talked about, they're all free. What? It's true. And I have more of them. And I will compare them to what my horrible mayor is doing in a second. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, a free solution. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Inside the Taylor Laboratories.
Hey, Tony, what you doing?
A little experiment, Zach. Look what I have under the microscope.
Ugh, what's that?
A sample of indoor air.
How can it be that dirty? Don't AC and furnace filters help?
Only with dust, Zach. But when Taylor installs a whole house APCO air purifier to detox the air, odors, chemicals, mold, bacteria, and viruses are removed.
For clean indoor air.
Yep. Ain't science awesome?
Taylor, 500 help.
A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that any able-bodied person would offer to assist a police officer in danger. Now, passers-by are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then, start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Yes, it is Larry Sharp. I have returned yet again here on A Free Solution. You might say, Larry, I like this Free Solution show. It is a good show. And here's the best part. It's on every day. Yeah, noon every day. We got Kevin Wilson on here. We got Tim O'Connor on here. We got the man himself, Andrew Hollister, on here. We got everybody on here. This is great. So follow on Facebook and YouTube A Free Solution, and you can listen or watch every single day at noon Eastern for those of you not in New York State. So yeah, all good. What I was talking about before the break was some ideas on how to help people who are in trouble. And there are lots of people who are in trouble, and how to actually build up more inclusively to deal with some of our more marginalized communities without spending extra cash, without quota systems, and also allowing people who aren't in that specific group to also be helped. We can do this. I just spoke about it. And now something else. That's how you begin to have shelters and that people start to get themselves back into those shelters. But once they're in the shelters, meaning homes, I hope tiny homes, or shelters, or wherever they're going to go, whatever they choose to go to, or even back to homes that they purchase or rent themselves, you now have to have an incentive for people to rent to them and for them to get jobs. Sure. You could do quotas. You could give money to people to buy jobs. That's the norm. But that costs us taxpayer dollars. Or you could incentivize companies to hire people who are in whatever category you think is a tough category. For example, felon, that's one. Someone who's gone bankrupt, that's two. Someone who's been homeless for at least 6 months, right? So you can create any of these categories that you can help. Note, how many of these categories have quota systems? None. How many are based upon race or gender? None. They're based upon circumstance, which anyone could find themselves in. But you simply look for circumstances that usually have more people of color in them, and you wind up helping those communities without quotas and without pushing away somebody who happens to be in that circumstance but doesn't fit the demographic. Right? That's the problem. What happens if you happen to be a white male who finds yourself in that same spot? With a quota system, you're literally pushed away. But without a quota system, you're still helped. But if in that demographic, or that population, your demographic tends to be less than others, fine. I'm helping other demographics out better. No worries. But I'm not pushing you away. And I'm not quota systeming. I'm saying here's a system that everyone can benefit from. Imagine if I did that. All of a sudden now, the market walks in, businesses walk in, and they have an incentive to help out these populations. And what I hear all the time, particularly from the left, and I'm talking to the left now, if you're listening, I'm talking to you. Hey, these corporations have to do more to help out the poor and disadvantaged. I'm in. I'm with you. They should. But let's not do it through force and taxation. Let's do it through the right incentives so they'll do it on their own. Because then they'll keep doing it. They don't wait for the grift. They just keep doing it. And if I'm right, and I hope I'm right, I think there are a whole lot of people who would be great workers, who'd be great Americans, who'd be great New Yorkers, but they're in a bad spot. And if we got them out of the bad spot, they would show their merit and their worth like there's no tomorrow. They would be pushing forward and going, yes, you're right. I'm going to do great, Larry. Thank you. And businesses will go, my God, it's awesome. Let's do this. Larry, how do you know it to be true? Go to most small businesses, diners in most small towns and ask the owner an important question. Have you ever hired a felon? Have you ever hired someone who used to be homeless? Have you ever hired someone who, used to be an addict, or maybe even still is an addict, but is a recovering addict? They'll all tell you yes. And you ask them, were they worse or better than anybody else? They will either say, same, they leave at the same level, they're bad at the same amount, or they'll say the opposite. No, they're really good. In fact, I like hiring felons. I'm not joking. You might go, why? Here's the issue. And if you've been in this spot, you know, and my mother was, and I know how she felt and many people feel. If you've been in a bad spot, if you've been homeless or you know someone who has, if you've been bankrupt or you know someone who has, if you've been an addict, if you've been a felon or are a felon or know someone who was, when someone gives you a chance and respects you and gives you a shot when others wouldn't, man, you're loyal to them. You don't want to screw them over. They're the person who gave you a shot. Like, you know what? I'm not screwing you over. Everybody else didn't care about me, but you did. You know what? I'm loyal. Because you gave me a shot, I'm giving you a shot. That happens often. I think I'm right. Why not try my idea? We won't. Because you know what de Blasio's done? He said, we're going to fund nonprofits. Yes, I'm not joking. He's not going to allow people to function on their own. He's not going to encourage businesses and people to give to nonprofits so they can go off and do the right work. He's going to fund them. He's going to take taxpayer dollars, decide where they should go, because he is smarter than you, all of us, and then give to these nonprofits, and then go ahead and decide which ones he wants, picking winners and losers, give them money, and tell them to hire people and such. How's that really growing a community? It's not. It's not growing a community. It's using taxpayer government dollars to keep being thrown into communities without actually growing the communities. How are the communities supposed to learn how to support themselves? There's the key. They don't. And that's the point. They are still completely dependent upon government. They're called nonprofits and community groups. They're not. They are just arms of the government. And the government can say, we're not controlling things. These are local nonprofits. These are community. Oh, but we're funding them with strings attached, so they must do what we tell them to do. It's basically a government agency, just in a different clothes. It's a government agency in a different uniform, but we're creating more government agencies by more government strings, which means it won't matter whether there's a success or not. What will matter is, did you check the boxes? Which will be, as always, inefficient and won't work. And I will ask you, as an individual, if you care about a specific group, you care about homeless people or addicts or LGBT community or whomever you care about, right? And they come to you and go, hey, you should give me money so I can support these people. If you care about this group of people, you probably want to, but you wouldn't just write them a check or give them cash. You'd want to know what they're doing. You'd want to know what their successes are. If they said, well, we just serviced people, that's what we did. Great. How many successes? Successes? I don't know what that means. What I know is people of this ethnic background that we decided is more important, we have a lot of them on our rolls and they show up every week and get cash. Yeah, but is that helping them? We don't know. You would never give them money. How do I know this? For those of you who've been to charities that have a donor base, what do they always show you? Successes. In fact, not just successes, they will show you people who now work for them, who went through their program, who are now up in action and helping others. And if you care, what do? You go, that's who I care about. Here's my money. Checkbox is not required. All that matters is success. And if they're doing good, people keep giving because some people care. I believe this in my heart. And this solution is free. People pay when they want to pay. They act when they want to act. I know, voluntary, crazy, right? But it can work. Larry Sharp, here on the free solution. Am I right? Tell me. 585-346-3000. If I'm wrong, tell me too. But I'd rather you tell me I'm right. WYSL. Back after the break.
Fly the flag, stand for freedom.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll have nice moonlit skies out there. Will not be as chilly. We'll generally stay in the low 50s. On Wednesday, a beautiful day. Plenty of sunshine once again, even a bit milder. We'll be close to 70 for a high on Wednesday. Heading into Thursday, clouds will return, still very mild, well up into the 60s, but some showers will develop, maybe a rumble of thunder in the Thursday afternoon. I'm Rich Cadillia, WYSL.
At Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Anthony Drive off Route 96 in Victor. They'll help you get ready for winter driving with America's favorite four-wheel drive vehicles, like the 21 Jeep.
All right, we have Hunter from California.
$349 a month for 42 months.
You're welcome.
A 21 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited 4x4 is just $399 a month for 42 months. Must be returning lessee. The 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4 is only $199 a month for 42 months. Must have Stellantis loyalty and be returning lessee. The 21 Ram 1500 Classic Warlock Quad Cab 4x4 pickup is just $179 a month for 36 months. Must have Stellantis loyalty and be returning lessee. Use 2 Ram coupons while supply lasts. Jeep, America's iconic four-wheel drive brand. $2,500 cash for trade and other conditions apply. Get full details from the dealer. Equipment and MSRP vary by model. We're here to fully serve Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram customers in Victor, Canandaigua, Macedon, Fairport, and throughout the Metro and Finger Lakes. Winter's coming. Get the safety and security only Jeep can give. Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram 6560 Anthony Drive in Victor.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Because your future is worth it. MGM Associates Insurance, proudly serving the region since 1984. MGM can meet your coverage needs, ranging from home, condo, and auto, all the way to specialized policies for business, workers' comp, to limo and taxi insurance, and coverage for tech professionals like IT specialists. They can also help lead you through the confusing maze in the new world of health insurance coverage and options. MGM Associates is large enough to serve you, but small enough to care, so you don't have to wait in line on some 800 number to get prompt personal attention. MGM Associates is the only winner of the National Best Practices Award 5 times in a row. MGM is proud to support veterans groups, including Heroes Home Advantage. For your personal, business, home, or professional insurance needs, meet the professionals at MGM Associates Insurance, locally and proudly owned at 1745 Penfield Road in Penfield, 381-7008. Or mgminsure.com, an associate of Ontario Insurance Company, 28 Canandaigua Street in Shortsville.
This fall, enjoy stunning views of the fall foliage from the highest point in Monroe County at Woodcliff Hotel and Spa. Recently voted Rochester's top hotel. We are centrally located, but far from it all. Woodcliff Hotel and Spa offers spacious accommodations, a premier spa, a 9-hole golf course, fine dining, and a beautiful location to relax, recharge, and reconnect. Get the most out of your visit and choose from a number of all-inclusive packages. To book your getaway, visit woodcliffhotelspa.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Pat Brophy from UR Medicine, Golisano Children's Hospital. When your favorite team wins, it's because they work together. When a medical team saves a life, it's because they put all their skills together. That's why Golisano Children's Hospital is so dedicated to creating a healthy community. It will give kids in the region access to advanced care, help us do groundbreaking research, and provide top-notch training to the next generation of pediatricians. You can help us do this, so please give to Golisano Children's Hospital.
All-Star Custom Apparel and Design is your local source for outfitting your team, employees, customers, updating your logo, decaling your vehicles, and promotional items. Stop in and see us at our new location at 45 High Tech Drive in Rush. All-Star will get your name recognized.
Livingston County Pizza Company and Gluten Free Bakery has a great deal on Tuesdays. A large 4-topping pizza for $18, regular or gluten free. Call 226-9575. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Livingston County Pizza Company and Gluten Free Bakery in Avon.
A free solution.
Yes, Larry Sharp back yet again. A free solution here. WYSL, Rochester, New York. WACK, Newark, New York. 585-346-3000. And by the way, you can follow me on my Sharpway stuff if you want to. Please go ahead. The Sharpway on all the interweb stuff. Yep, it's everything. Locals, Patreon, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. Follow me and you can hear me say more cool stuff. Or not. All good. I appreciate all the time you guys give me. I'm going to grab a call if I could. I have Hunter who is calling from the great state of California. How are you, sir?
Hi, hi, Larry.
What's going on, my friend?
First on, I want to talk about the social media sites you have.
Okay.
How would someone contact you if they don't have any of those?
If you don't have any social media?
Yeah, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, no YouTube, nothing.
Wow. How would you even know who I am? I guess you can call the radio station like you just did. That would be something.
Yeah, that's only once a week at most.
Yeah, it's a good question. Why are you asking? Do you not have any of those things?
Yeah, I don't have any of those things, and I do see things on your show I do want to comment on, but there's no way to do that.
You're correct. You can call in or use social media, or if you want to email, you can ask my engineer for an email address, and he'll give you one. Happy to have you email me.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Great. Thanks, Hunter.
One more thing I want to say.
Okay.
You're talking about De Blasio, and I think you're something about his character you're misunderstanding.
Okay.
I don't think he's either a true believer or a incompetent person.
Okay.
He's what you could call an energy vampire or a sadist.
An energy vampire. Oh, I like that. Keep
or
going.
A sadist.
Okay.
I mean, look what he does. Everything he does in New York is to bring New York City down by 1,000 cuts.
That's true.
Have you seen Rossman's recent video where he was covering De Blasio bulldozing down motorcycles?
Yes. De Blasio is slowly trying his best to mold the city the way he wants it to be. I think you're right. It is 1,000 cuts. But I'll go one step further, Hunter. You're right with what he's doing, but I honestly believe that he thinks he's doing the right thing. I think in his heart, he believes he's helping, even though he's clearly not. Do you think I'm wrong?
That's what I think you're wrong on. When I look at him,
so you think he's an evil person trying to hurt?
I think he has a lot of enjoyment from how much suffering he's causing.
Wow. Okay. I haven't seen that, but maybe you're right. I'm open to this idea, but from what I've seen and the people that have worked with him that I've met, none of them think that he's actually an evil person. They think he's just bad or incompetent or wrong. Most do not think. In fact, what I would say is, and again, it's anecdotal. It's only people that I've met. And I've met people who've worked with him. And those who've worked with him that I've met, none of them think he's a bad person. They think he's incompetent and delusional. They don't think he's bad. What makes you say he's bad?
Well, watch his media availability on YouTube.
Yeah.
He has hours-long episodes of people coming to pander to him as he makes his mandates and dictates onto them how things should be.
Yeah.
And the result is bringing New York down.
Yeah, but what I think you're having, there are two things that are confusing, Hunter. You're confusing the idea that people who are in power, some of them don't get pandered to. That's not true. If you're in power, people pander to you, period. Whether you're a CEO of a company, mayor of a city, dean of a college, if you're in a position of authority, people will pander to you. That's kind of what they do. Whether you accept that or not is up to you, right? And that's an issue on a personal level. But pandering to people of power is a thing. And the second thing I think you're talking about is the results are bad. The results being bad does not mean the intent is bad. In many government programs, people who jump on them and try to help out, their intent is insanely good. They're actively trying to help. It just doesn't work, and the outcome is bad. It doesn't make them bad.
Yeah, I agree. I just think de Blasio is a unique case in that scenario. He's not like most government politicians. Like, for example, Cuomo was a narcissist. He cared about his own image.
Correct. Yes.
And here in California, we have Newsom, who appears to be a sociopath.
Yes. Yes. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think you've hit what I'm saying, right? I don't see de Blasio being that person. I think he's just wrong and delusional. I don't think he's actually bad. I think he's just utterly wrong and living in his own world. The guy ran for president, got his butt kicked, didn't even affect him. We just thought everybody else was crazy. And now he's going to run for governor. That to me is delusional.
Yeah, there's a certain level of delusion in there.
I think that's true. Hunter, I want to say thank you for the call. Email me. Remember, anybody wants to get a hold of me, just go to LarrySharp.com, click contact. You can just put in the contact form and reach me if you want to. Anybody who wants to. Hunter, thank you for the call, my friend. So I think Hunter has a point in that it's 1,000 death by 1,000 cuts. I think he's right. It's not that, one thing de Blasio does brings the city down. That's true. One thing doesn't. But it's the 1,000 things. It is. So right now, what's happening is people aren't doing what I'm saying, which is creating actual community growth, actual small business growth, which that is what grows a community and grows a city. And I focus often on small businesses. Why? Because of what I just said. Small businesses are the ones who give people second chances. They're the ones who hire the felons or the former addicts. They're the ones who give them second chances. Big business weeds them out through their systems. This is a different issue. If we focus on that, we can watch a lot of people grow. Let me grab some comments. A lot of you are commenting on the web before I go on. I've got a couple of things I want to bring up, but let me walk down here if I could, a couple of them. So, all right, let's see. Ed says, the whole New York State doesn't revolve around New York City. I agree with you, Ed. I'm not sure if I do. Let me go with a different way of saying it. It shouldn't. Maybe that's better. Sometimes it does. And it shouldn't. I would like to change that. I think you're right. The state should be the state and the city should be the city. They should be different. But the reality of it is, very often what starts in New York City follows the state. Very often. What New York City needs to do is to drop the mandates, which people can get back to work, enjoy the activity, try to make it more tourist friendly. This is true. Let me walk down that road that you just brought up, Ed. I have to go to the next step now. Sorry, guys. I'll get to more of your comments in a moment. But what my mayor is doing is he's saying he's going to give more money to these nonprofits and these community organizations, which are just government agencies now. And the strings attached are all mandate based. Yeah. Now he has the new vax to the movies. If you heard this one, you can't go into a movie theater in New York City unless you have a vaccine. And they put vax sites in front of the movie theaters. For those of you not in New York City, I'm not joking. That's a real thing. So you want to go in, get vaxxed first, you get to go in. Otherwise, you can't go in. So he's talking about doing this. Yeah, go back to the movies, blah, blah. And the funny thing is, Regal, which is one of the larger theater companies, is behind him. Yeah, come to our movie theaters, blah, blah. Get vaxxed, whatever. So now, instead of just saying, hey, New Yorkers, to Ed's point, go to movies. Go enjoy. Have a good time. Enjoy my awesome city. And by the way, New York City is an amazing place to visit. Not always to live, but great to visit. So come to my city, enjoy it. Go to theaters, go to stores, enjoy stuff. He's like, go to the stores if you do as I say. Go to the movies if you do as I say. And Regal is so happy just to be mentioned so that people come in. They're on board. But imagine if he didn't do that. What if the mayor just said, come to our city. Let me tell you about the cool places we have. And Regal and this and that. Do you think Regal will be like, no, I'm not going to get behind that, Mayor. He's not putting vax sites out front. Of course not. Regal will be happy. Oh my God, you're mentioning us? Thank you, Mayor. Wouldn't it be great if we had an executive who was the marketer in chief and not the controller in chief? Wouldn't it be awesome if we had an executive who was about supporting businesses and not about controlling businesses? Wouldn't it be great if we had a mayor who was about actually growing communities and nonprofits and not controlling them? This is kind of what Hunter was talking about. You begin to control everything, nothing can function without you. Centralized control doesn't work. Am I wrong? Tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, WYSL, a free solution. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Need help with health insurance? The Greece Regional Chamber provides assistance.
Okay, we have two callers. First of all will be Craig from Clinton.
We pride ourselves on the personalized service that we provide.
And then after him, we have Richard from Palm Beach. So when you get done with Craig, just give me like 10 seconds to take Craig out of the board and put Richard in.
Offers a broad range of medical insurance plans for businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and families throughout the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region, working with insurance companies including Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, Univera, and MVP Healthcare. We can also help you access insurance plans through the New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Again, you do not need to live or work in Greece to utilize our brokerage services. We serve the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region of New York State. Visit greecechamber.org to sign up for one of our free health insurance information sessions or schedule an appointment with one of our licensed brokers. Call 585-227-7272. 585-227-7272.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, SimpleTech Innovations.
All right, so the second call, just to confirm, is Richard from Palm Beach, Florida.
Years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
A free solution.
Yes, I have returned. Larry Sharp, A Free Solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York. So happy that you guys are giving me a small chunk of your afternoon. Thank you so much. I'm going to grab 2 quick comments, if I could, that I probably should have done last one. I want to grab them real fast. Christy says, my favorite New York City plumbing company, efficient and price point, hires felons, and they're the hardest workers ever. Look at that, as I was talking about. Exactly right. Thank you, Christy. Burley says, charitable giving is very high in the United States. Free people voluntarily provide their time and resources in those in need. Constantly. He says, you are spot on, Larry. Burley's correct. This is the way, but not only, Burley, is this correct, but this begins to grow the community to learn how to support each other. That's the issue. Absolutely. So I'm very happy you said that. Let me grab a couple of calls if I could. First, I want to grab Craig from Clinton. Craig, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Larry?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just calling because I like what you have to say about your solutions, and I also agree that Warren Wilhelm the 16th is not doing well, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
If you were to
for those of you who if you're listening and you don't know this joke, de Blasio changed his name. He was actually born Warren Wilhelm. He changed his name. Wilhelm, anglicized, is William, and his mother's maiden name is de Blasio. So he changed his name from his father's Warren Wilhelm to William de Blasio. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Warren Wilhelm just sounds a little bit too German to be the mayor of New York City, right? So you need something that's a little bit different, a little different. That's all I'll say.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, if you were to run as governor, and if you were to win, and you had someone like Baron de Blasio down there doing his thing, and you wanted to implement the ideas, and Wilhelm says, nah, this is my town. You stay out of here. Would you pull an Abbott from Texas and mandate it? How would you handle those things? You know, or would
it's a
you
great
just try
question.
to turn his
And it's going to make some people upset when I say this. I am also upset with Abbott saying you may not. Government should not be intervening like that. I shouldn't be mandating, and I also shouldn't be stopping people from deciding to mandate themselves. Both are wrong. I think the mandates are worse than what Abbott's doing. If I have a choice, I'll take Abbott over the other, but I don't want either of them. So of course not. The issue with New York City is many things in New York City cross outside of New York City. The MTA is an example, many bridges and tunnels, things like that, energy, water, any of these things the state could actually control legally, and it's not only New York City based. So those I would say you can't do that to because they're inter-county, inter-city, right? Interstate, that would intrastate, right? I would do that. But if there's a local New York City law or rule, I wouldn't stop them unless I felt like people were saying they were taking away their rights. If I felt that the local community was taking away someone's rights, of course I would step in. The idea is always going to be the larger or bigger government organization, whether that goes from county to city to state to federal, should only be stepping in when a local place is taking away or infringing on someone's rights. If I feel like they're not, let it go. Good luck, guys. I hope it works. I hope that my example and that my ideas from other areas will get you to figure it out and you'll follow what I think is right. I hope you will, but you might not. So I hope that was clear.
Yeah. And if he might not, right? Because I think he's shown that.
Yep.
I guess the problem is like it's a warring government. There's two warring governments over your rights, which is already the wrong problem, right? Because your rights don't come from them.
Yes. You're right. It's totally a problem. I agree. But here's the issue. If I were to actually win governor, I would have a mandate. And there'd be enough people, even in New York City, to go,
Richard,
this Larry Sharp guy, he might be right. So
go to Richard.
That's true. Oh, let me move on to the next. I'm sorry. Thank you for the call, Craig. I want to grab Richard from Palm Beach, Florida. Oh my God. How are you, sir?
Hey, Larry. How's it going?
What's going on, my friend?
So I got a
4
question
minutes.
for you. You know I'm a refugee from New York City.
I know. We used to hang out together. I know.
Think? Do they think de Blasio or Warren Wilhelm's a clown? What is the feeling on the street?
Most New Yorkers actually don't like him. And how do I know that? Because we just elected in the Democratic primary someone who's the opposite as a Democrat, right? Eric Adams is the closest thing you will find to a Republican in a New York City Democratic Party. He's not a Republican. He is a Democrat, but he's the closest thing you'll find to a Republican in the Democratic Party. He's a former cop. He's a former Republican. He is not about defund the police. But he's Democrat. So I think the Democrats said, well, we hate Republicans, so we can't vote for those people. So they ignored all Republicans and said, we'll find the guy who's the opposite of de Blasio and we'll vote for him. So again, New York City Democrats voted in a former cop, a former Republican as their nominee. So I think most New Yorkers don't like him. However, there are two things. One, he does talk very nice and he makes people feel good when he says inclusivity and stuff. This stuff sounds great. So people like that warm, fuzzy feeling, number one. And two, and you know this for New York City, at least he's not a Republican. Can't have one of those evil people.
Yeah, I guess that's right. So now another question I have for you. We have a good governor in Florida here, DeSantis, and we have rules that regulate the entire state, like CCW isn't regulated county by county. Are you against that, or are you for the county, each county having a say, or are you for the governor saying, hey, this is the rules?
Here, that I'm glad you brought this up. And I brought this up in my last campaign.
2 minutes.
What I want is the state to have the basics of Second Amendment except rules, right? The basics. Here's the basics, right? And what I'm talking about in my state is universal transportation laws. We don't even have that, right? Just have that. Change the state from a shall issue, from a may issue to a shall issue when it comes to your license. So if it's not, given in 90 days, you get it. So make some basic rules like that. Change, the idea of ammunition being loaded in New York State. Right now in New York State, loaded means ammunition in the vicinity of the firearm. Make it very simple. Bullets in the gun. That's it, right? So would I like to have something where we're constitutional carry? Of course I'd like that. New York State's nowhere near that.
1 minute.
So let's first just go universal basic laws that cross the counties and then let counties do their own thing for now. That's where I am.
Oh, thanks for clearing that up, Larry.
I think I lost him. Hope that made sense, Rich. So yes, there are many states where you could make blanket and it would work. Not going to work in my state. New York City is just so anti-gun, it just wouldn't work. So I'd rather have something just, no one goes to jail, you get your permit, and let the counties have their own. This is not easy, but it can be done. And the best part, it's free. A free solution. Larry Sharp, thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all next week.